Hi, welcome to my instructional video on culturing and straining milk kefir. Today I'm just gonna, show you quickly how to culture milk kefir using milk kefir grains. So if you don't already know, milk kefir is actually made by fermenting grains in dairy milk. So basically it's like cow's, sheep or goat's milk. Okay, whereas with water kefir, that's a bit different. Water kefir, on the other hand, is made with sugar water, fruit juice, or coconut water. So today's video is really more about showing you how to make milk kefir using the milk kefir grains. Okay, so the grains that I'm using today are already activated, meaning you will get a ready-made kefir after 24 hours of fermentation, whereas those that you buy from the health food stores, those online shops as well, they normally come in a dehydrated form, which means the fermentation process will take longer. It will actually require about 3 to 4 rounds of culturing a dehydrated form of grains before the grains actually become completely activated. So you will know this after the rounds of culturing where the milk actually tastes like nicely sour, like liquid yogurt, instead of milk that's gone off. So you'll know the difference. So today's grains that I'm using are already activated, meaning you can actually culture them, like ferment them, and within 24 hours, like the very next day, you will get ready-made milk kefir. Okay, so let's start off. Look, this is my huge big jar here of I've got a huge supply of milk kefir grains inside here that's already been fermenting since yesterday evening. Well, I've been doing this for like a couple of months now, since April. So I've been, so it's like every day, 24 hours, I've been fermenting it and then just straining it into this bowls here that I use. So just to show you, the equipment is basically this glass jar here with a muslin cloth, and then I've got a plastic strainer. As you can see, this is made of plastic. So kefir, the reason why I use a plastic strainer is because kefir does not like metal. Okay, think of kefir like a live organism. It doesn't like metal because it's a very sharp kind of surface, so it can damage the grains because it's a bacteria really. So it's best to use something that has a gentle surface like plastic, and also like a silicone spatula that I have here, which I will use to squeeze the grains through the strainer, a plastic bowl, and another glass bowl to later on put to rest my grains after straining. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm just gonna lift this out. As you can see, there's a lot of grains in there, with the milk. So I'm just gonna do this. Just gonna pour all these grains into so you can see it's a lot going on there. Okay, and then just basically strain it. Now you can get these plastic strainers online. I buy them from eBay and they come from China, and they're really cheap. Like you can get them for like $4 for like 4 different sizes. Of course, if you order them from China, they might take a while to arrive, like about 3 or 4 weeks. So I would recommend you also try maybe looking for them in Kmart or Target. They might have some of these, but I haven't really seen these type of like really minuscule hole, like mini hole plastic strainers there. They might have those with the bigger holes that look like a colander, so you could use those as well. So basically just work the grains so that the milk can just strain out as much as possible to the bowl. All right, I think it's pretty much done now. Just gonna rest it on this bowl here. So with the milk that's already been strained, just pour it into a, it's really very simple. Just pour it all here into a mug. With the milk kefir that's already strained, you can either drink them straight away, or if it's, yeah, you can see this is like a full mug actually, but that's because I've got at least, you know, like I've got at least a cup full of grains. Okay, if you've got generally 1 tablespoon of grains will yield probably about like half a cup or probably a quarter cup of milk kefir. So yeah, so it's probably be around this much actually. Okay, so you can either choose to drink it now, or you can just put them in the fridge and then drink it in the morning. I would recommend drinking them more at night or just after dinner, because it's actually really good for helping the body relax, or promoting good quality and restful sleep as well. Especially like you can do it just before you go to drink it just before you go to sleep, because it has this amino acid called tryptophan, which helps promote good sleep. So I'm just going to put this already strained kefir on the side, and I'm just going to give my glass jar a rinse. You can rinse it, or you don't have to rinse it, and you can just pop these grains back into this glass jar straight away. It's up to you. But I recommend, even if you don't rinse it every day, just rinse it once a week. Is probably, yeah, you know, like just part of hygiene reasons or just keeping clean. But otherwise it's really perfectly fine if you don't want to rinse it every day. Okay? Okay, I'm back. I've got 2 jars here actually, because I'm actually giving away 1 set of my kefir grains to someone else. So I'm just gonna, yeah, separate them. So I'll put now when I'm dishing out, like, you know, the kefir grains, it's okay. I can use a yeah, a metal spoon here, because it's not going to be like really, yeah, that bad. So I'm just going to put 1 tablespoon and then another tablespoon. You can see that it's really healthy grains that I have here. They're all like cool. Okay. ready to go. So I'm just gonna add milk to that jar. So I'm just gonna add just that much because I haven't got that much grains in there. So just this much for about 2 tablespoons of kefir grains. And then I'm just gonna pop the rest of the other grains back into my original jar. There we go. Just gonna use and pour some more milk in there. There we go. Put the muslin cloth over this jar and this one as well. Just remember that the kefir is a live bacteria, so it needs to breathe. So that's why I'm using a cloth, and then just secure it with a rubber band. So that's basically it. So this is, yeah, I've got this one here, which is the jar I'm going to give it to a friend. So there it is, it's all ready. And this other one here as well, that was my original jar filled with lots of grains earlier. So it's, yeah, so I'm just popping the rest of them back into here. I'm just going to leave it on the kitchen bench top for it to ferment for the next 24 hours. Just something that, yeah, I overlooked to mention earlier. The other thing that, yeah, that kefir does not like normally is, just wanted to let you know, if you're going to wash out these, this equipment here, the utensils and everything, just make sure you just wash it out in hot water. Don't use soap or detergent, because you're going to be using this again to strain the milk kefir grains the next day. So preferably not have any yeah, contact with soap or detergent. Okay, and also occasionally you might want to rinse your grains just to give it, like, sort of to give it a more refreshed taste as well. You can rinse your grains in water, just don't use tap water. Make sure that the water has been boiled and cooled. So it's cooled, basically you can rinse your grains in cooled boiled water. And also just to let you know, because my grains, I've got some grains here as well. They're separate, they're the same milk kefir grains, but they're actually fermenting here in coconut milk. So just so you know as well, my grains I've been experimenting with coconut milk, and it works, and it has a really lovely like rich aroma without it being too cheesy, so it doesn't taste like yogurt the way it does when you ferment with normal dairy milk, but it does have. So just so you know, yeah, so I rinse my grains out just after I ferment it with milk, and then I transfer them into coconut milk. So yeah, so what you see here, I've got coconut milk kefir going as well, and it's really quite nice. Actually, it goes quite well with coffee, or you know, and you put it in the fridge and you take it out, it tastes like ice cream. It's pretty nice. So that's something that you can think about doing as well, experimenting. Yep, and then just a quick thing actually, a quick brief on so well, basically I think, well, what are the benefits of kefir? Really, I think it's great for like people who are lactose intolerant, because I find that the kefir eats the lactose, so it really removes all that sugar from the kefir, making it quite safe for lactose intolerant. But again, I'm not a doctor, so be sure to seek some professional medical advice before, if you think that you've got any dairy allergies or lactose allergies. So make sure that you're definitely okay to actually drink milk kefir before you actually do it. And also the other thing that I really find it great about kefir is that it actually increases your immunity to colds, coughs, and flus as well. Like a couple of months ago, I had some severe pain in the back of my throat, and it felt like it was like the onset of a very bad cough. I only just started taking kefir then, like probably like a couple of weeks, but I increased my dosage then, and within about a week, actually the pain in my throat went away. And I only had a slight cough for a few days, and then it just went completely off, and it did not develop into like a full-fledged cough with phlegm, with a lot of phlegm, and it gets very chesty. Normally, like I would get that, I've been doing that. I get that like in last couple of years, but this time around, I didn't have that. And also, I find that kefir has been really good with also alleviating like intestinal infections and digestive issues. Just to relate a recent case, because my mother-in-law had acid reflux for a number of years, and it was characterized by a lot of bloating, gas, indigestion, nausea, every time she took, like spicy food or coffee. Okay, both the kinds of foods that she loves, and it was the most awful, uncomfortable experience. So she took all sorts of medication and drugs, but the relief was only ever temporary until she discovered kefir. So since taking it for like 2 months, the acid reflux just went completely away and never came back. So those are, these are some of the really great things that I find about taking kefir. It's like it really improves your health and your well-being, and that's why I've stuck with taking kefir, since April. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my video, and hope to see you again next time when I show you my next video on culturing coconut milk kefir. Stay tuned. Bye bye.